convinced that okay, this is the impact and this is so critical for my organization. What all parameters when I need to go for any organization to showcase the impacts and the ROI also for the particular investment which we are doing?
Yes, this is again another tricky question. See, in security, ROI is your business continuity. There is nothing really that you are going to get monetary benefit because you are secured. There is no direct benefit. It's always going to be the indirect benefit that you are continuing with the business. Your reputation is not is not damaged because of the security incident. So that is your customer.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Gaurav Batra show. As you guys are already aware that I'm on my trip in the south and we are doing hashtag InfoSec on wheels. So when I've been to in Pune, I have my first meeting with Yogesh Kulkarni. He has around 20 years of experience in cybersecurity domain, in cyber insurance, ethical hacking and red team assessment. I'm going to talk to him about that how cyber insurance is important for the organization and what board of directors or any fresher or anyone need to look into that. So before I have a discussion with him, also I will be going to have discussion on the cybersecurity scene in Pune and what all organizations, startups and colleges are doing here and how much this city is cyber aware. Let's hear him out. Hi Yogesh, welcome to the GV show.
Hey, thanks. Nice to meet you, Gaurav.
Nice meeting you. Same, and pleasure is our that we got privilege to have you on the show. And I think a lot of things are happening in Pune around cybersecurity. As I have visiting some of the engineering college and management colleges as well. So, as per you, where Pune stand when we talk about cyber aware?
Definitely, this is the Pune has delivered a lot of things from a cybersecurity perspective till date. From 99, if I look at when I started my career, Pune University had a particularly CINS as an institute, Center for Information Network Security,
Okay.
which was the initiative of Ministry of IT at that time, and that was the first institute across India.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say Pune started with the cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is the place where in across the India was Pune, and it was the research institute where I used to actually work over there as a research associate at
Okay.
that time. So that was my journey actually, I would say. So hence, and after that, I had seen that a lot of companies started actually focusing for their security products deployment across the city for various reasons, as well as development, and the multiple MNCs started focusing into the Pune as a region.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know, many these companies which focus into the vulnerability space, their main or the corporate offices are there over here in Pune, and even the
Right.
development centers as well.
Okay, awesome. So that makes you make your life easy, and I think there are many network communities and people are getting together, meeting around and talking the
Yes.
cybersecurity scene. That's really great. So Yogesh, to start with, like you said 1999 you were part of those institute and you have done some research on that part. So and your whole experience talks about cyber assurance, right?
Yeah.
So if I need to tell someone when we talk about cyber assurance, what all it covers? It's a broad term, but what all elements are there?
It's a very vast. When you have to give about the cyber assurance, you are giving the assurance of the security of the each and every aspect into the IT. Cyber assurance cover your infrastructure, your applications, your network devices, your servers, endpoints, everything. Whatever you are using as a component of the IT, it covers each and every aspect. It's not specifically only into the infrastructure or the application. It covers the IoT infrastructure as well as the applications. Now, into that, particularly cyber assurance, it starts with basically first identification of the vulnerabilities.
Okay.
Whatever the security issues are there, that we have to identify first. Then when you go for the identification, you will always see there are too many vulnerabilities, too many security issues are there. Now you can't go ahead and fix each and everything. You have to pinpoint what is the most critical in that.
Okay.
And I would always correlate these examples with the live scenario. If someone wants to really do, if whenever any particular robbery happens into the any particular banking environment or wherever, somebody actually does the particularly recce of that particularly area. He finds how, he goes and finds that this is the particularly building. How many windows are there? How many doors are there? Which windows are open? Which door is actually open? When the guard goes to sleep? When exactly attack can happen? So the similar way into the cyber security, people do first understand what is that particularly we can actually target. So that, and in that, how many issues are there? Now in that, which one is easier to attack? So the similar way, when we look at of the cyber security, we exactly try to do the what is the most exploitable, what is the most easier, which anybody can actually exploit. So after identifying, we have to prioritize the vulnerabilities. That is what is the second thing. Now when you decide that these are the areas which we are going to actually prioritize for the remediation perspective, then whether some, you can always look at whether can we really exploit that or not. So that is one aspect we cover under the penetration testing. So we talked about first vulnerability, then penetration testing. Then there is third one is the red teaming exercise. In that, you want to actually look at what is the efficacy of your security monitoring, threat monitoring. Now if you are to look at threat monitoring, whether are or the security monitoring, are they able to really detect something or not? For that, you do the red teaming. You don't discuss, you don't disclose what is that exactly you are going to do, and you simply do the attack. And then and then after that, you see whether your attacks are already detected or not, whether those alerts have come or not, and what are the actually actions cyber defense team has taken. That is what we actually look at. So these are the three components, and the last one is breach attack simulation, where you assume that you are already attacked. So internal user who is actually supposed to be your trusted user, but what exactly he can really do? There will be some point of time, there might be a possibility that some external attacker may gain the access into your environment, or the internal user might become a disgruntled user. So what is that exactly he can do? That particularly we assess under the breach attack simulation by doing the testing of various components as a control assessment. So these are the things what we do under
Fair
the
enough. I
cybersecurity.
think cyber assurance, the points which you mentioned, hacking, red team assessment, breach attack simulation, those are good. But when we talk about assuring someone, right? So after these exercise, how, when you go to the senior management or maybe to the CIOs and you say that, okay, now this is safe, what all parameters I should look into?
So this is a very tricky one. This is a very tricky question. See, when you have got thousands of issues coming out, in that you have to tell that these are the issues which typically across the industry or into your geographical location are getting exploited. Once you fix those, then you can actually say that my cybersecurity overall maturity has increased from 1 to 2. Now it still doesn't mean that you are completely secured, but the possibility of you getting attacked is much lesser. And now you have a probability that somebody, probably internal user, might be able to actually misuse that. So those particularly aspects you should look at, and that particularly we should tell to the board, or we should look at to telling to the senior management that now we are looking at first from the external perspective, how much secure we are, how many open issues are there, what is the risk out of that particularly issues, and then we have to look at what is the internal user can actually do that.
Okay. And when we actually use specific the three different exercise, when in the industry standards, people will say that, okay, I'll go with ethical hacking and do the penetration testing. So this is a common norm these days, and it's very easy to get budget for the same as well. Then how you convince to the senior management that no, red team assessment is also a much needed exercise, or breach attack simulation is also we need to do, that is different from penetration testing, and do add more value addition to the system. So sometimes it becomes difficult to convince the board. So what or how you do approach that same?
Yeah. So for penetration testing is a predominantly last 20 years it is going on and
Yeah,
people are doing
exactly.
it, but it creates a lot of noise into the overall environment. If people can easily detect that somebody is doing the attack and the hacking attempt or attack, that people can really make it easily, because you do the scan, you are actually not allowed to do everything. Now when you go for the red teaming, you are not going to do attack on each and every system. You have to be completely silent. You have to observe. You have to actually understand what is the particularly IT landscape, what is the applications running over here, and which one you can actually do this very pointed and specific attack, which will not most probably be detected by the your cyber defense team, which is continuously 24/7 they are monitoring it. What is that exactly it is, that you will have to guess. Now for that, board particularly will not be really ready for going ahead. No, I want to do it additionally this particularly red teaming. Then you can actually take a step back, that instead of this particularly external penetration testing, I will, for the 1 quarter, I will go ahead and do the red teaming. And once you showcase the results, which is going to be the eye opener for anybody,
Yeah.
that how attacker can come into my network from outside and mess up everywhere and nobody really catches him up, then that is what is the exactly cyber defense efficacy. How much they are prepared, how much their maturity is, that actually it gives the understanding to the board.
And exactly for board understanding, when we say that okay, this attackers can come on do this particular attack, or how you convince that okay, this is the impact and this is so critical for my organization. What all parameters when I need to go for any organization to showcase the impacts and the ROI also for the particular investment which we are doing?
Yes, this is again another tricky question. See, in security, ROI is your business continuity. There is nothing really that you are going to get monetary benefit because you are secured. There is no direct benefit. It's always going to be the indirect benefit, that you are continuing with the business. Your reputation is not is not damaged because of the security incident. So that is your customer confidence is there. That is what is the ROI when you are secured. Now that we will have to explain, and it's to the board, that you are not going to get the monetary benefit because you are going to have, and there is no direct benefit. You are not going to grow the business, but it's the business enabler. You are going to continue your business in a secured manner, and you can always tell to your customer that these are the security things we are actually taking care, so their information with us is secured. And that is what is a key thing, that you are going to be confident in front of the customer that these are the security parameters we have taken care, and that is why you are secured, your information with us is secured, and whatever the deal we are actually working on is going to be secured.
Fair enough. And if I ask, like, today, what are the top threats you are worried about and which you see as a common that most of the organizations are either not fixing or, they need to be aware of?
See, there are two things. One is the phishing. See, you can patch a particular system. There are multiple applications, there are multiple controls which you can actually put. You can have the antivirus, you can have the EDR solution, you can have monitoring, everything you can have. Firewall is there. So many components you can add as a control layer. But when for a human, there is no patch. There is only security awareness which is going to be helpful for them.
Yeah.
And that cannot be really easily patched. People are going to do the mistake. For example, now, when the particularly appraisal systems are going on, and that across the industry, across your organization, everybody is getting the latest. And if somebody actually says that, please see this is the new incremental salary stack available onto this site, please have a look at it. People are going to click onto that. So how do you train them? That is what is the most critical part. So that is phishing as one particular thing I would say is the most critical part. And then the ransomware attack. since people are not really much aware about the security, they are clicking everywhere. So after that, how many controls into your organization, as I mentioned, antivirus or EDR or other solutions as well, how effectively they are going to work is going to be important. If somebody does mistake and click onto the malicious link, then it has to be cached. If that is not getting cached, then you probably end up having the ransomware kind of attack where your data gets encrypted and you will be asked for to pay a decent amount of ransom, and then that creates the problem. So these are
Okay.
the two things which are critical.
Amazing. And after catering into all these attacks and everything, you provide the assurance to the organization. Then, but how you keep yourself updated and provide cyber assurance to yourself?
Yeah, this is, see, this doesn't come, and there is no a specific book that oh, I go ahead and look at this particularly. It's
Yeah.
and these are the top 10 particularly things today I have to take care. It doesn't. It's not like that. First is that you have to be aware that what is my ecosystem, what are the IT components are there into my organization, and which are the vendors I'm working with.
Hmm.
So those particularly, if that gets fit into your head, then automatically you start searching what are the security issues into that. There are certain sites, there are certain guidelines available, and where the regular updates keeps coming that these particularly IT vendors have published these many particular security issues. So you have to read, you have to be updated on a daily basis, you have to keep track, and it has to be it has to become a habit. How do we really go ahead and update? What are the things we have to look at? So those particularly, it gets into habit once you start tracking those particularly aspects.
Awesome. And as you know, keeping yourself updated and making your organization secure all the time. And as with the increasing landscape of the threats, right? It's very stressful job. So what Yogesh do at personal front to relieve that particular stress?
Yeah, so see, uh, for long time I was not really doing anything. I was, it was my habit that you take a Coca-Cola or Pepsi and then have some chips, and then you keep on
Keep on working.
increasing the weight. So that anxiety, but I had that particularly issue. But then I realized that I'm actually putting weight, and it's not really, it's stress is
Now
not
I'm
going.
looking at myself now.
So I realized that particularly problem. So I thought maybe let me try out something different, and then I was discussing with couple of other people what they do. But one of the financial officer, chief financial officer into the multinational company, what he does, then he said that I would like to meet you at some other time because tomorrow is my marathon and I'm going to run 42 kilometers.
Okay.
That was shocking for me. This guy is a chief financial officer and he's going to run 42 kilometers. That's really amazing. I started, I thought probably I should do some kind of exercise on a daily basis. And then, I thought it's not going to be so easy for me. So let me start just going and, do some morning walk. So initially I started doing the 2 kilometers morning walk. Then it's slowly I started increasing that. And then I reached to the level that, 1 hour running is must for me. So that particularly early waking up, getting up at 6 o'clock, going out and then running for 1 hour gives me energy throughout the day. So
Okay.
that's a very key component that you have to do some physical exercise to maintain yourself. That is not only going to actually impact only onto your physical, but your ability to absorb the more and more stress throughout the day. You are energetic. You have energy. You have energy to actually tackle many more security issues, many more issues in your day-to-day life.
Awesome. And thanks for inspiring us today, guys. As you know, Yogesh here, we are just drinking green tea. I don't know if you're able to see it or not. But yeah, I'm also getting a bit healthy and I'm getting so much inspiration from Yogesh. So when someone shoot my podcast, I will say, Yogesh told me this, and so I started running. Because
Yes.
right now I'm not running. But anyways, so my last segment, Yogesh, which I have for you, where I will like you to talk to my audience directly, that cyber assurance. There are many youngsters management folks or engineering guys, they wanted to start a career in cybersecurity, and if they want to start with cyber assurance, what your guidelines or what your advice to them will be, and I will
Yeah,
ask you to talk to them directly there.
sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gaurav. So, first, we have to understand how the operating system works. What is the particularly network system? What are the network components are there? How operating system talk to the other operating system? What are the services? So, the basics are very important in this case. If your basics are clear, then you will be able to understand that where are the security issues. And it's an art, it's more of an art than the technology. If you are aware about the art, if you have always viewpoint that I want to see what is the particularly loophole, then automatically you are going to find those, and automatically that particularly your mentality will actually be towards that. I want to find out something really loophole. It's not about that 1 2 3 rules you have to follow this particularly book. Once you have by heart, then you can sort out all the issues. It's not about that. You have to have the art particularly to find out the loopholes. So develop that art. If you are really interested, then you have to develop the art. How do we really find out the loopholes into any particular system?
Awesome, and I think great advice, Yogesh. I think this session would be an insightful session for the audience, and thanks for being on my show. It was really great talking to you. So, as per the ritual, I have something for you. Thank you for being on the show, and
Thank you.
okay, everyone, stay tuned, and I will catch you up next Sunday. I am just heading from here to the next city. Do look for the BTS and see me on LinkedIn so you will get to know where I am right now. See you. Take care.